Good morning and welcome to our gentle AM yoga class. And I invite you to grab your mat, maybe a couple of blocks, maybe a strap, and let's go ahead and get set up to begin. Once you find your comfortable seat, you might want to sit on a cushion or a pillow just to elevate your hips slightly so that you maintain that nice gentle curve in your back, supportive curve. And let's just take a moment to get comfortable. Let go of whatever came before and whatever is going to come after, just to be present in your practice today. And for those of you who do not know me, my name is Kim Brown, and I am honored to be with you today. And today's practice is going to focus gently on your hips, your hamstring, and your spine. So go ahead, relax your shoulders down and back, root down through your sit bones, those two bony protrusions down below. Really feel the support of the earth lifting you up. Feel free to close your eyes if that feels good. Palms hand down on your thighs, or you can also open them up, palms up. And then tune into your breath. Notice the expansion of your torso with each inhale and the contraction with each exhale. Now think of it as three-dimensional breathing all the way from your hip bones up to your collarbones. Notice the cadence of your breath and perhaps work to slow it down just slightly. Then relax through your hips. Relax the muscles of your face. And if those niggling thoughts have crept into your brain, recognize them, release them, return to your breath, and begin to notice the sensations in your body. Use your breath to do a scan through your body. How is your body feeling today? Is there any area that's feeling a little extra needy? And as we move through your practice, please do make it your practice. If you want to hold in a pose a little longer, do it. If one side feels like it needs more than the other, go ahead and use that time, transfer it so that you give each side the attention that it truly needs. With your next inhale, lift your arms up overhead, bringing your palms together. And exhale, just draw them down through to heart center. This is a nice little flow, inhaling the arms up. Exhale, Anjali Mudra, and drag them down. So nice, long, deep breath. We're moving with our breath, breathing with our motion. And this is also a really nice way to regulate, because if you're moving, really fast, you want to bring that to your attention. So nice, slow, long, deep breaths. So refer to this as diaphragmatic breath. Now, all breathing is diaphragmatic breath, but what I really want you to focus on is breathing all the way, that entire space from the hips to the collarbone, front to back, side to side. Let's go ahead and gently release your hands to your upper thigh. We're going to begin to move in circles. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And if you're on a cushion, it might feel better to remove it. Everybody's different. Do what works for you. So think of leading with your chest as you're doing this motion. And imagine your pelvic bowl. It is a lovely bowl made out of bone. And in the center coming up, center back, we have your spine. And we're just starting to work things up. And we can start with nice small circles and gradually build to bigger circles. Now your arms are your leverage. You can use them to help regulate and stabilize you to make smaller circles, or you can actually use them for a bit of leverage to get larger circles. But what we want you to do is feel really grounded through your sit bones and start to notice the movement of your body, the movement of your sit bones, the movement of your spine, and notice any tugs or pulls on your muscles, your tendons, any of your soft tissues. And if something feels good, go ahead and hold it for a bit, breathe into it. And notice how your expansion, your contraction of your breath actually kind of gives an internal massage to those muscles. Reverse direction. As you come forward, leading through the chest, opening up through the heart, shoulder blades back. As you move back, think of rounding out through your belly, navel towards the spine. And your head just naturally follows, no excessive arching. And close your eyes if that feels good. We'll slowly come back to center. Resting your hands on your thighs, and go ahead and bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then extend out your opposite hand, fingertips on the ground. And your ear is not actually going to come all the way to your shoulder. I want you to just think of relaxing your shoulders, maybe feeling a really nice stretch all the way down the side of your neck into your fingers. And you can go a little deeper there too if you'd like to. You can flex your opposite hand, maybe lift it up a little bit, just little pulses. Notice the sensations, how it feels. And then very slowly lower your hand. I'm going to use the same hand, lift my head back up to a neutral position. And now bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. You can extend your opposite arm out. And just nice, long, deep breath, noticing the sensation of the breath moving, how your muscles respond. Ear towards shoulder, shoulders in line, relaxing your shoulders. Now, if you'd like, and you did it on the other side, go ahead and flex your hand, maybe pulse it a little bit. And slow, even breathing. Let's go ahead, bring the same hand up, head to neutral. Now, for this next one, we're going to stretch the shoulders a little bit. You can use a block, or you can just pretend you have a block between your hands. We're going to extend the arms up, and then bending at the elbow, just extend the block behind you. If you're doing it without a block, just think of arms parallel to each other, kind of in line with your ears, and then bend at the elbows, hands move back. And we want to keep a space between the hands. Nice and slow and steady. This isn't a race. Just kind of waking things up in there. And if you choose to add, if this feels really comfortable for you, if nothing is screaming at you that needs you to slow down. And by the way, yoga, we should not have pain. Discomfort, yes. Pain, no. So if this is feeling good and you feel like you want a little bit more, you could think of squeezing into the block. But if you're feeling any discomfort at all or extra tension, please don't. Let's go ahead and lower that down. And now what we're going to do is bring your right elbow up and your left elbow behind you, and then maybe point your left fingers up. So the fingers are pointing towards each other, and they don't have to be touching. What we're really trying to do is your top elbow is pointing up, bottom elbow pointing down, just as much as possible. Reestablish that firm connection with the earth. Both sit bones are nice and comfortably grounding down. Relax through your thighs, relax your shoulders. Nice, long, deep breaths. Only doing as much, going as far as feels good. And then we're going to very slowly untwist, nice and slow. And then we're going to change sides. And if you wanted to use a strap here, you could too, to do a little tugging. So the opposite elbow is going to come up with fingers pointing down. And then your other elbow comes behind you. You just kind of bring it down. And this might be as far as you can go, and that is totally fine. Then if you can begin to bend your elbow up, you can do that too. So relax into your sits bones. Firm foundation. Top elbow up towards the ceiling, bottom elbow as much towards the floor as you can. And nice deep breath. So if you can relax through your shoulders. And then slowly we unpretzel ourselves. And for this one, if you can't reach your hands behind you to clasp, you can use a strap and just clasp the strap as far apart as is needed. Think of rolling your shoulders back and down. Think of bringing the eyes of your elbows in towards your body. So either using a strap or not. Open up through your chest, really ground down through your sits bones. And you can stay here and maybe try to press down your hands down and away from the body, or you can add a gentle fold in. So we're hinging at the hips, inhaling up. So really feeling the stability of your core. And gaze is just forward, eyes can be closed. It's your call whether you add the bow or not. And breathing with your motions, taking at the appropriate rate and pace for you. And then slowly unwrap your hands. Release the strap if you were using it. We're going to bring your left hand to your opposite shoulder and then bring your opposite hand on your elbow. And then we're just going to give it a nice little bit of pressure till you feel a little bit of a stretch and opening. And then you're going to stop if there's any discomfort. And now what we're going to do, we can stay here, or you can bring that arm up so your palm is facing to the side. You can wrap your other arm under and bring your hands up. And if this isn't accessible, then always just give yourself a nice little hug. And then draw your elbows up and then slowly bring them down. So this is called bear hug. It's always an option. The alternative to that is eagle arms, and that's where your hands go up. And you can bring the back of the palms together, or you can also have the palms touching. Root down through your sit bones, nice, tall, long spine. Relax your shoulders. Let's go ahead and take it the other way. And so now we bring your right arm to your right shoulder. Just a few gentle pressures. You might notice that one shoulder is a little looser than the other, totally normal, natural. Once that feels good, we can choose to stay there, or you can bring your hand up, palm facing away, other arm wrapping into eagle arms, either back of the palms together or the palms together. That's too much. We take bear hug. You choose which one works best for you. Think of elbows up, relaxing the shoulders down, nice long spine, and long deep breath. And then perhaps introducing that motion, moving your elbows down and up, and see what feels good. Something feels nice and juicy, go ahead and hold it and breathe into it. And then slowly, we're going to release, relax. We're going to come to all fours in a table position. So we're going to stack the hands under the shoulders, knees under your hips, fingers spread nice and wide so you can see the mat beneath you. And then as if you were pressing away the mat, you're going to curve your spine up towards the ceiling on the exhale, head drops down. And then as you inhale, You're gently going to curve and drop your belly towards the ground. If you'd like, you can curl your toes under just for a little added stability. And then exhale, curve back up. So we're moving with their breath, breathing with their motion, adding more motion into the spine. And this also, if you've been doing a lot of abdominal work, the cow portion of this pose does give a nice stretch to the abdominal muscles. Let's find that neutral back. Extend your right leg back, toes pressing into the earth. Kind of press through your heel, and if you'd like, you can add a little bit of pulsing here. So hips are parallel to the earth, maybe a soft micro bend in the elbows. More weight in the knuckles than that base of the hand. Just gentle pulsing into your calf muscle. And now we're going to rotate. So the bent knee, we're going to rotate it back. We're going to swivel and lift up your hand. This is a gate pose. So press into that extended foot, really lengthening. And then if you'd like, we can arch over slightly. But I want you to really think of lengthening through the spine before you arch over to the side. Breathe into side body. And then we're going to slowly come back down. Transition to table. I'm going to change directions. And this time the opposite leg goes out, pressing your foot into the ground, really getting a nice stretch in your calf, your hamstrings, all the way up. Nice long deep breath. And in just a moment, we're going to do what we did on the other side. So the bent knee, foot swivels behind you, long leg out to the side, and then we can swivel on up. Reach, lengthen through your spine first, grow nice and tall. Remember to keep space between your shoulders and your ears. And then if you'd like, you can go over to the side. Really think of opening up your heart forward. Use your feet, your knees for stability. And then slowly we're going to come back down to the earth. We're going to transition through table and pop into our first downward dog of the day. So toes curled, backing hips up towards the ceiling. Knees can be as bent as you want. Press in through your knuckles. And then you can slowly begin to straighten your legs and bring your sit bones up towards the sky. And then slowly sink your heels down. Breathe into it. We're going to transition back to your knees. Step your right foot forward. It's a nice low lunge. And bring your hands to your knees or your blocks if you have them with you. I want to think of opening up through your left psoas. Spine nice and long. Using your breath to relax. And then go ahead. Clasp your hands together, pointing your fingers up, kind of steeple pose. Arms extend up, lifting up. And if you'd like, you can open up through your chest, maybe a little baby back bend, but really press into your front foot. Hips are both parallel forward. Relax into it. Low lunge or crescent lunge pose here. And then we're going to bring our hands back down like we're Charlie's Angels. And then you're going to take the same hand as your knee and you're going to open up to the side. Now, if your shoulder or your rotator cuff is feeling really tight, you could just bring your hand to your hip, but think of doing a nice torso twist. I'll rotate so you can see me okay. And then you're going to bring your elbow down to your forward knee, palms together in that Anjali mudra. And think of lengthening through your torso again. Your head just can gently follow, can be gazing over your hands, or you can gaze over your top shoulder too. Deep breath. This is easy revolved side angle pose. And then slowly untwist. Bring your hands down. If you have your blocks, you can use them. We're going to go into a hurdler's lunge. So our half split pose. So I'm flexing that forward foot. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, begin to fold over. Go ahead and use your breath to lengthen and fold over your leg, getting deep into your hamstrings. Think of bringing your heel down, and then pull your right hip back to help bring both hips into alignment. Find your sweet spot, that nice gentle tug and pull. You feel like good stuff's happening. Relax into it. You could let your head grow heavy here. And from hurdler's pose, we're going to transition back to our table. And we are going to then move on to our other side. So if you did the right side, now we're going to do the left side. Go ahead and step. I'm going to call it my left leg forward into a lunge. You can use your blocks to help. Find a nice firm foundation where you feel nice and stable. Lengthen through your spine. Maybe sink down a little bit, feeling a nice opening, your psoas. And if it feels good and you've got good foundation, knee over the ankle, you can begin to lift up a little bit too. Think of bringing your tailbone, your sits bones down. You can also keep your blocks at your side if that feels good. So we can stay here, or we can move into crescent lunge where our hands come together. Kind of steeple your fingers, reaching your arms up, opening up through your chest. Growing a little bit longer, and then maybe even introducing that slight back bend. Pushing your hips forward, opening up through your heart. Head just nice and gently follows the arch of your spine, nothing too extreme. And then the hands are going to float down. I'm going to turn away from you to bring my hand down, switch to the opposite side. Now you can extend both arms out if you want, or last time I gave you an option for your back hand, putting it up. This time I'll give you the other option. Bring your forward hand to your thigh, and then the back hand can reach up. So we're bringing just the nice twist into the body. Breathing in, think of growing taller with each inhale and exhale. Slowly bring your elbow to the outside of your knee. Bring your hands together in prayer. A little deeper twist. Now you can always stay upright too if that's a little too much. Press in through your feet. Think of scissoring your legs. Lengthen through your spine and slowly untwist. Using your blocks if it feels good. Hurdler's lunge. So flex your forward foot. Press your heel into the ground. Think of pulling your heel and your hip back so that both hips are in alignment. Lengthening your torso out. Exhale, folding down. Nice, gentle tuck to your chin. Use your breath to lengthen and lower. Find your sweet spot and breathe into it. Relaxing your shoulders, your face. We'll move back into table position, moving your blocks out of the way, hands down. Curling your back toes, you're going to press up, downward dog. Knees can be as bent as you like. Really get your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Press in through your knuckles. Slowly begin to straighten your legs, sinking your heels down. Head is nice and heavy, gazing towards your thighs. With your next inhale, let's go ahead and curl, roll forward, plank, knees down. Want to make sure that your hands are under your shoulders. Shoulders are firmly engaged in your back, and we're going to slowly lower down, elbows graze your rib cage. Move your hands up under your shoulder. Inhale up, exhale, lower back down. Let's go ahead and push back through table. Walk your hands towards your knees, curling your toes. We're going to come into a forward fold, knees nice and bent. In fact, bringing your torso down to your thighs. Head can be nice and heavy. Shaking your head, no. Shaking, yes. Relax your hands, wiggle it out a little bit. If you'd like, you can grab opposite elbows. Begin to straighten your legs just slightly, pressing into the four corners of your feet. Begin to straighten your legs a little bit, bringing your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Just nice and heavy. Deep inhale and exhale. And if you want to rock a little bit between the ball mount of your feet and your heels, go ahead and do that. Or maybe add a side swaying motion in. It's very nice and comfortable. And we're going to slowly bring our right elbow towards the outside of our right shin. And we're going to lift up. So we're kind of doing a little sundial. And then we're going to exhale and go down the opposite side. Move through center. Right elbow touches the outside of the right shin again. Inhaling up. Exhaling back down. Now this time in the center, we're going to switch positions or directions. So left elbow, left side of the leg, rotating up. And yes, this is supposed to be a little bit different. We're using our core stability, we're using your obliques. Having our arms overhead leads a extra bit of difficulty to it. Let's go ahead and find ourselves in mountain pose. Relaxing your hands off to the side. Feet are hip distance apart. Weight is equally distributed all around your foot. Shoulders rolled back and down, palms forward. Just take a moment to feel stable. Legs engaged. Nice curve in your spine, lengthen through the crown of your head. Maybe a gentle bend in your knees. We're going to slowly move towards the top end of our mat. Finding your mountain pose here. And we're going to step back your right foot, keeping a hip width distance between your 2 feet. We're kind of coming into a lunge here. Come up onto your back toes and just find a good distance. We want to make sure that your front knee is over your ankle and both hips are facing forward. And go ahead and extend your arms overhead. Inhale, we're just going to lean forward 10, 15 degrees or so. Double check your foundation. Feeling nice and firm, hips are forward. And then we're going to exhale, bring the arms behind us. Chest is open. Imagine that you're squeezing a block behind you. Hips are forward. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Just moving with your breath. You feel free to hold any part of this pose as long as you want to. It's your practice. But constantly checking your foundation. Feeling the strength of your forward leg. We only have about 20 more seconds. You can do this. If you need a break, you can always straighten out of it, but come back in. Ten seconds. You got this. And let's go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. Straighten your front leg. Maybe bring your back foot up a little bit. Hips are still parallel to the front of the mat. And then we're going to hinge from your hips. Tush can go back into pyramid. We can walk the hands down your thighs. You can also use your blocks. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. So just like the hurdler's lunge we were doing on the ground, pyramid, we can use our breath to move a little deeper into it. And we're gonna transfer the weight to your front foot, stepping, forward fold, hands come to shin, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. More to the center. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then press into your feet, inhale, lift all the way up. Tall mountain pose. Relax your hands down. Anjali Mudra. So a little breath, a little break before we transition to the other side. You're going to step your opposite leg forward. Find a nice firm foundation. Feet hip distance apart. Knee over your ankle. And you can always grab onto a support if need be. Hips parallel forward. Let's go ahead and inhale the arms up, hinging from your hips forward. We're going to hinge from the hips 10, 15 degrees or so. Really press through the back foot. Double check to make sure you have a firm foundation. Relax your shoulders. And then on exhale, we bring our arms behind us. Maybe think of squeezing a block behind us. And then inhale back up. And move with your breath, feeling free to hold any part of the pose that you'd like to. Really pressing into your feet, feeling the strength of your legs, stability of your core, the flow of your arms. Really think of reaching through your fingers. It's like you're shooting energy out of them. You've got this. 10 more seconds. And then bring the arms back to the hips. Step up a little bit on your back foot. Lengthen up. Exhale, fold over. Pyramid pose. Now your hand can come to your thigh to support it. Remember, hips level with each other. Using your blocks as want to be. Press into your forward foot. And allow your torso to just rest, relax, fold over your leg. And then we'll transfer the weight to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. And from a downward position, let's go ahead and step our feet nice and wide apart along the long edge of the mat. Go ahead and walk your hands forward. So your hands are under your shoulders. I'll turn sideways so you can see. So hands are under your shoulders. Think of bringing your tush back. That's fine. Head can hang nice and heavy. And so you can bend your elbows back towards your body. Lower down. Remember, transfer that weight more towards the ball mount of your feet. Nice long deep breaths. Press into your legs. Imagine that you're pressing the floor, the mat apart. Then relax a little bit. Maybe keeping a micro bend in your knees if you tend to hyperextend. Press into the floor, press the floor away, imagining that you're widening the areas in your hips. And relax. Sometimes our positions during the day can actually cause, a little bit of pinching, the hips and the bones in our body to kind of, gravitate towards each other and pinch each other. And when we can do something like this, it actually helps to relieve the pressure. It pays out throughout the day. This is also strength building. People think, oh, forward fold, nice and easy. We're asking our body to do quite a bit right now. It's not full relaxation. Remember, bringing the weight more to the ball mount of your feet. Head towards the ground. Nice and heavy. If you'd like, you can bend one leg and straighten the other if this gets a little too intense. But then come right back into it. We've got about 15 seconds left. Head hangs nice and heavy. And slowly come to lift up. Bring your right hand under your face. Bring your left hand to your hips. And we're going to start with our elbow. Press in through your left foot, coming into a twist. And if you'd like, you can lift your arm to the ceiling. Head can be looking down or up, whatever feels good. Remember, transfer the weight to the ball mount of your feet. Breathe in, nice twist in the upper body. And slowly we'll come back down to center. Replace the left hand under the face, and then begin to twist to the other side. Press it through your feet, and a nice twist, energy through your fingertips. Head is in the comfortable position. And slowly bring your hands down. We're going to bring our toes face out as you bend your knees. Let's come into goddess pose. So as wide or as narrow feels good for you. So listen to your body, see what feels good. We would like our knees over our ankles, torso nice and tall. Big breath in, exhale it out through your mouth, side out. Now we're going to move into a twist. You're going to hinge over, press into one arm, so I'm bringing my left shoulder to my right knee, and then alternate. Just kind of moving between the two. And if you'd like, you can bring your head into the motion where you gaze over your shoulder, but nice, gentle motions. Using your breath to help transition side to side. And then slowly come back to neutral. Let's go ahead, straighten our legs, come to a standing position, and hop our feet back together. Come to the top of your mat. We're going to gently roll down. Bending your knees, plant your hands. Come to your knees. We're going to come to lie down on your back so you can cross your ankles. Roll back. Bring the soles of your feet down to the mat. Hands under your thigh. Nice, long, tall spine. We're going to slowly begin to roll down. You might get to a spot where you tuck your tailbone all the way down. Lengthen your legs. Stretch your arms overhead and just get any wiggles and jiggles out as we come into Savasana. So stretch, stretch, stretch. And then the hands come down to the sides, palms up. Allow your feet to flop whichever way. And if you would like to put an eye pillow on your eyes, that might feel really nice. Or if it's a little chilly, you could cover yourself up. I invite you to close your eyes. To use your breath to trace through your body to see how you're feeling right now. And if you would like to take any additional motions, you could, or you could remain in Savasana. Become aware of your breath and slow the length of your inhales and your exhales. Filling up your whole belly. Releasing everything on the exhale. So if you're going to relax through your hips, relax your face. Imagine that your shoulders are melting down into the earth. With each inhale, imagine you becoming lighter and filled with air, oxygen, light. And as you exhale, it's like a cleansing process. Releasing your breath, releasing anything that you no longer need, just melting into the floor. Do 2 more of those. As you exhale through the mouth, side out. And begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You stretch your arms overhead, lengthen through each side of your body. Bring your hands together, rub them together. You can bring your feet together, rub them together. Let's give yourself a nice big hug. Maybe rock side to side a little bit. And then we're going to come to a seated position. So you can bring your legs down and you can gently roll to your side and then press up, or you can rock and roll up too. To your version of a comfortable seated position. Relax your shoulders. Let's bring palms together at heart center, pressing thumb into sternum. Just take a moment in recognition of spending this time for yourself, giving yourself a little bit of thanks. Investing in yourself is never a mistake. With much gratitude, namaste.